Hello there, welcome to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. This is your guy Schroeds, bringing you the long-awaited Phoenix strategy guide. So let's jump right into it, and as a disclaimer for this video, this is a pre-level 85 strategy guide. This is for leveling up. Strategy will be different once you hit max level. Mods may be different. This is to help get you to level 85 using Phoenix as your primary team. So keep that in mind as we go. We're going to go through each of their kits real quick, talk about some mods, and then I'll go through a couple battles with them and show you how I best use them. I'll start off with the leader, Miss Harrison Dula. Her basic: deal physical damage to target enemy. If that enemy was the healthiest enemy, also expose them for one turn. As we go, I'm not going to do the final level because you're not going to have the final level till you get closer to 85. So let's go with what we've got here. That expose will really help your team, especially when you get down to the last character. So if you're going up against a tough character, you might want to leave them for the last one. Take out the weaker characters and constantly get exposed. So potency will be good for her. Her first special: call another target ally to assist. That ally's attack is plus 25% potency and deals 35% more damage. I typically use this with Ezra with the extra damage. He's the main damage dealer. But if I need to get someone stunned, then Zeb is a great one to call with the extra potency. Backup plan: target other ally gains the backup plan buff for 3 turns. Backup plan is recover 10% health per turn, revive with 80% health and 30% turn meter when defeated. Cannot be dispelled or prevented. So basically it's a preemptive revive. So great to place on Kanan if he's your tank and he's about to die, or Chopper. Can also place it on others. Honestly, I find that I don't use it all that much, but it's nice to have. Then her leadership ability. This is the big one. Each active Phoenix ally grants their unique ability to other Phoenix allies. In addition, whenever a Phoenix ally uses a special ability, they gain 20% turn meter if Hera is active. Well, she's almost always going to be active, so they'll get that turn meter. But sharing the unique abilities is what's really good. So as we go through this, we'll have to remember each of their unique abilities and how they interact with each other. We'll go to Zeb next. I'll get out of Discord here. Okay, Zeb is basic. Deal physical damage to target enemy and daze them for 2 turns. If that enemy was already dazed, staggered, or exposed, and remember Hera can expose, they are stunned for 1 turn. So if you daze someone, then you can call Zeb to assist, to daze them again, to get them stunned. That's a fantastic ability. Staggering Sweep. Deal physical damage to target enemy and stagger them for 1 turn. There's the stagger. The daze can work off the stagger to stun. If the target has no debuffs, the attack deals 25% more damage and can't be resisted. This part of it, I mean, it could be good from time to time, but I don't really play around it. If it happens, great. But you're usually focused on one single character that you want to get down. You don't want to spread your attacks around too much, so you probably won't hit that all that often. Honor Guard. Zeb and target ally gain protection up 40% for 2 turns. They both gain tenacity up for 2 turns if they have no debuffs, and retribution for 2 turns if they do. This is a very nice extra health, survivability buff, I should say, with the protection up. I find myself not really using the tenacity too often. It's the retribution that I really want. Now Kanan will give you a counter chance, but having that retribution, the guaranteed counter, is really fantastic. So if Ezra does get debuffed, that's when I like to use it. But honestly, I find that I'm not using the Honor Guard all that often. I prefer just to have extra offense. And Shrug Off is unique, so remember he'll share this with other Phoenix allies. Zeb has bonus protection equal to plus 30% of his max health, and recovers 15% protection at the start of his turn. This recovery is doubled if Zeb is debuffed. Now you can't really do a whole lot about him being debuffed, but it's the bonus, bonus max protection, equal to 30% of his max health. So for all Phoenix, health is going to be very, very important, even more so than protection. Going over to Ezra, his basic. And Ezra will be our main damage dealer here. Deal physical damage to target enemy with a 30% chance to attack again. If Ezra has no debuffs, this chance is doubled. This is very, very key right here. You really want to make sure that chance is doubled. So you have 60% chance to attack again. That'll give you a lot of extra offense. His special flourish. Deal physical damage to target enemy and dispel all buffs on them. If the enemy had no buffs, this attack's cooldown is reduced by 1, and Ezra gains 50% turn meter instead. I find that typically don't use this to dispel buffs. I'll only use it when they don't have buffs. No, that's not an always rule, but most of the time that's what I'm doing because I want that extra 50% turn meter so that he can attack again, get more damage out. Chopper also has a dispel, so I'll typically use that if I can, but it's very good to have this in emergency situations. You notice the cooldown here is only 3, so if you reduce the cooldown by 1, every other turn you get a flourish. Watch and learn. Target ally attacks, and then Ezra assists them, dealing 20% more damage. Both attackers gain a bonus effect based on the chosen ally's roll. Attacker plus 100% crit for this attack. Tank protection up for 30 turns. Support plus 30% turn meter gain. Typically I like to use this with Hera for the turn meter gain. Chopper is also a support. Zeb and Kanan are tanks. But the turn meter gain is really fantastic for keeping the offense going, mowing down the enemies. Which the Phoenix are not a very offensive team. They're more of a surviving team. So it's great to be able to get that extra offense out. However, if Ezra's a little low on health, or the tank is, the protection up, it's nice to have that option there. His unique push through. Ezra gains 10% offense at the end of his turn. This effect can stack up to 30%. This bonus is reset when Ezra is defeated. So he'll share this offense with the rest of his team, so offense is a good stat to get. Mr. Kanan, our fantastic tank here, his basic: deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict offense down until the start of Kanan's next turn or until he is defeated. If this attack scores a critical hit, this effect can't be resisted. This ability gains plus 5% critical hit chance for each ally under full health. Honestly, it's just about the offense down here. You'll use his basic a lot, but well, he's not your main damage dealer. You know that's mostly irrelevant for what Kanan does for this team. The first special: deal physical damage to target enemy and taunt for 2 turns. Here's the tanky part. Then dispel all debuffs on another target ally. While Kanan has this taunt buff, his tenacity is doubled. So the nice thing here is dispel all debuffs on another target ally. Remember, we want Ezra to not have any debuffs, so I typically use that on Ezra. If he has any debuffs, I'll use it on Hera next, because you got to keep your leader alive. And if neither of them have debuffs, someone else. Total defense. Kanan dispels all debuffs from himself, then grants himself and another target ally protection up for 2 turns. The protection up is nice, but it's the dispelling debuffs from himself that really is the key part of this for me. You can use it for extra protection, but dispelling debuffs is when I use it. Otherwise, I'll typically go more offense. The unique: clear mind. Kanan has a 55% counter chance and recovers 15% health whenever he suffers a debuff. This makes him really tanky, so you don't really want to put high tenacity on Kanan, because you want him to take those debuffs so he gets that health recovery. He can also clear those debuffs with total defense, and the counter chance is amazing for the Phoenix team. Moving on to Chopper. His basic: reckless fling. Deal physical damage to target enemy and grant a random Phoenix ally offense up, speed up, or defense up at random for 2 turns. I read that out of order. With a 50% chance to also reduce that ally's cooldowns by 1. The offense up or the speed up is really where it's at. The defense up, sure, that's, great, but the other two are really what it's about. So it's nice to have. You want him fast, attacking a lot to get those buffs out to your team. His first special, Chopper gains taunt for 1 turn. While he has this taunt buff, Chopper gains 25% evasion. That evasion is really very helpful for Chopper, otherwise he would die fairly quickly. The 1 turn taunt is nice. It's kind of an off tank for Kanan when he can't get the taunt out, or you want to have Ezra or Hera not be focused down. But I typically don't use that taunt all that much. I tend to rely on Kanan. You got enough survivability with everybody else, typically, where you can get away with it. Okay. Metal Menace. Dispel all buffs on target enemy. For each buff dispelled this way, all enemies lose 10% turn meter, and Chopper gains 15% protection. Droid targets are also stunned for 1 turn, which can't be evaded. So the stun is, it is what it is. It's there. It's good-ish. But that's not what this is really about, just dispelling all buffs on target enemy. This first sentence, you want to save that for when you have to get a taunt off. That's about all I'll use it for, unless the enemy's tank is already dead. Then I'll use it to get rid of other buffs, but save it for the taunt. Maintenance Protocols. This is a fantastic ability, fantastic unique here. At the start of his turn, Chopper recovers 11% of his max health. In addition, whenever he is damaged by an attack, he gains protection up 11% if he doesn't have protection up. So every other attack, he's gaining that protection up, 11% health. Every turn, he's gaining 11% max health. And remember, he shares this with the rest of the team. This is a very, very, very good regeneration ability. It's why Chopper's part of the team, because he doesn't bring as much as the others outside of this unique ability. It's part of the reason why health on Phoenix is so good. Let's find Miss Sabine Wren. We'll go over here. Her basic: deal physical damage to target enemy twice. This attack scores an additional hit for each of the following. If the target has less than 70% turn meter, has less than 30% turn meter, the target is debuffed, and hits after the first deals 75% less damage. So it's very good. She attacks a lot, and she can hit pretty hard. Her first special, Dark Saber Strike. Deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict Armor Shred for the rest of the battle. Armor Shred is a fantastic debuff on the opposing enemies, especially very tanky targets. Really lets you get them down pretty quick. Second special, Demolish. Deal physical damage to all enemies, expose and stagger target enemy for 2 turns. Remember, this works really well with Zeb, because he can stun if they've got one of those debuffs. This attack can't be countered or evaded, and that's a very nice ability. Or special, take it back. Sabine is plus 25% critical chance and plus 10% critical damage. It's always good to have extra offense. So Sabine is a fantastic character, but when we're talking about the team selection, I tend to leave her out. The reason for that is she's only farmable through this hard node. So you can only attempt it 5 times per day. So it's tough to be able to farm her up. It's the slowest farming method of any of the Phoenix characters, even though you can start farming it from the very beginning, which I did. But, you can see I'm only 13 out of 30 shards. She's, how many stars is she? 3 stars right now. All my other are 7 stars. So, she's lags behind the others on the stars department. She's hard to get. And she doesn't have any of the other abilities in terms of the unique that really help out. See, I'm a cheapie here. Let me restart this. And I'm back. So, Chopper gives you the regeneration, Zeb gives regeneration. Both of those are super important, especially for the Galactic War. Makes the team very tanky. Kanan is your tank, so you gotta have him. Plus the counter chance is just invaluable. Ezra's a fantastic damage dealer. He is offense to the rest of the team with his unique. And Hera's the leader, so you're not going to be getting rid of her. So kind of by default, Sabine is out. And that's too bad because I really like her. But, you know, it is what it is. Once you get to level 85, sometimes you'll be picking Ezra for other teams. That's when Sabine can really come into play and join the Phoenix team. But until that point, it's those top 5 right now that make it up. So let's talk about modding real quick. No, my mods aren't perfect, but this is what I've got right now, and I think this works out really well. Because Hera doesn't get attacked a lot, I'm not as focused on defense and maxing out her health. I do want to try to get good health on her, but it's not my primary focus. I want to get offense and that critical chance up. Like I said, I call her with Ezra quite a bit. So going with the offensive set and the critical chance set is my best bet for early game. You can also throw speed on her. I mean, speed's good on everybody, but you don't have as much gear, so speed sets aren't going to be as effective as you're leveling up as they will be at level 85 when you have someone geared up higher. Mr. Zeb, I've got 3 different sets on here. I've got the health, because he'll get that bonus protection from his health. Potency, because you really want to be able to inflict his basic, the bash, the daze. So I've got a potency primary on his cross. Got extra offense on him because even though he's considered a tank, he doesn't have any taunting ability, so he doesn't get attacked a lot. Plus he's pretty durable as it is. And then I've got the crit chance just to try to get him critting a little bit more for that extra offense. Offense is really where Phoenix kind of lacks. So as much offense as I can get on these guys to make things a little bit easier, that's what I'll do. Ezra, he is our primary offensive dealer, so I've got an offense set on him and a crit chance set on him. Now, why do I not have a crit damage set? Well, until he gets much higher crit chance, it's not worth it. Offense is going to end up being the more effective tool. Let's see, his crit chance right now is only 36.69%. I think it's somewhere around 52% is where the crit damage set will work out better. Now, you do want to have a crit damage triangle on him. I didn't have one that really fit, so this is what I have for now. But if I can find a crit damage triangle, that would be better. I put health here. Offense would also work. Again, I just couldn't find what I really wanted to make this work. And this one has speed, plus it's got some extra offense there. So this is certainly not optimized, but it is what it is. For all my characters here, I've got speed, and for all their circles, I've got health. These are all locked in as offense. You can't change that. Those are all defense. Can't change that. Kanan, for him, it's all health. Get as much health on him as you can. That'll give him the extra protection from Zeb, the protection up. Got extra health there, got extra health there, extra health there. Speed, we got those speed on all my guys. And Chopper, again, health, because he does tank sometimes. Yeah, you could maybe do something else, but I found that he doesn't have all that much native health, so giving him some extra really helps out. Tenacity isn't bad on him. Potency, because he does have the Metal Menace, can also be good. So we've got tenacity there, defense there, health there. So that's our basics for modding. Now, again, you could optimize a little bit more than that, especially once you hit 85. This is not optimal. But it's good for leveling up, and that's what we're focused on right now. Okay, so we talked about team selection. Let's run through a couple Galactic War Battles. I saved these last 2. This is going to be a really tough team. I'm level 72 throughout. They've got better gear than I do, so I don't even know if I'll be able to do this. This is a really bad matchup. But hey, let's see what happens. Anytime I'm going against Nihilus, I want to knock him out as quick as possible. I have to move that a little bit so that he can't annihilate. This is where Zeb's stagger ability really helps. Once he's got that stagger, if you hit him again, knock out all the turn meter. Now, if I use Zeb's basic, then I can try to get him stunned. So typically I would call Hera for the turn meter gain, but I tried to get him stunned. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. So again, calling Ezra. Let's slow this down actually so we can look at some of the damages here. 6,000, 4,000 there. Chopper with offense up, throwing 2,200. Not the offensive guy. Just under 3,000 there for Zeb. Next I'll probably go for Maul because he's got an AoE daze, which I really want to try to not get. So because I know that's probably coming, I'm going to save his special. Against a lot of other teams, if he wasn't there, I would go on and use it and take the debuffs off of Ezra, but I'm going to save it until I get that he inflicts those debuffs. Alright, Flourish, 4,800. Let's go basic here, 3,200. Got that counter. Seems so slow when you're used to 4x, but we got two counters. Okay. 5,000 on that one. I think that was a crit. 2,300. Oof. Okay, so this is, like I said, it's a tough match. Probably should have gone on and done that taunt, so that Kanan would have been the focus there for Vader. So I need Hera to live. So there's a good thing about Galactic War. You back out. You try it again. I'm not going to keep it this slow for forever, but I want to show some of these damage numbers. 6,800 there. See Zeb special, 3,700. So you see the difference. Maybe we can get the stun this time. 2,900, 4,300. So very consistently, Ezra is doing a lot more. 6,300, 4,100. $2,200. Now, I probably could kill him, but remembering what just happened there, and seeing that Hera's a little low, let's give her that extra protection. We'll play it risky here. 7,500 on a crit. 3,100. I don't know why he didn't do his AoE there. He should have, could have, but meh. Vader with his basic. Alright, let's speed back up. Okay, so I know he's got his special, so now would probably be a good time to use that taunt, just to kind of give them a little wiggle room until I can get caught up here. So I could try to stun here or here. I think that's the better one to try to stun. Got it. Hey, Chopper with the evade. That's big. Here comes the AoE. This is why we saved the taunt for Kanan, so I can pull one of those off. Now, I can't call an assist because they're all dazed, and that will prevent them assisting. So there's no point in using that ability, so we'll just use basic. I probably should have tried to stun there. It's unfortunate. Couldn't do much there. Okay, now Ezra doesn't have any debuffs, otherwise he'd be my first one to try to debuff. So Hera will be my next choice there. Boom, got him out. Now, I get some counters on him anyway. Vader's a little more dangerous in my opinion, so I'm going to go for Vader next. This is a place where it wouldn't be bad to call Kanan, but he's dazed, so there's no point. So I can call Hera. She's already topped out on turn meter, so she's not going to benefit there. Chopper could, but Zeb deals more offense. Plus, wouldn't be bad to get some extra protection there. Plus, inflict the bash of the daze on him. So hopefully I can get him stunned. Stun. Boom. Alright. Try to get this debuff off now. Give some extra protection to Hera. Alright, now we're looking pretty good here. And sometimes it just takes 2 attempts to get through these galactic wars. You know, you try something, doesn't work out, try something else. Okay, now I could really go for either of these. Since Zeb is up and Kyle has got a chance to counter, I'd like to start with him there. Now, one thing I try to do when I get down to 2 characters, typically in Galactic War, I try to just use basics, except for Ezra. He goes often enough, and his cooldowns aren't very long. I'll keep using his specials and uniques. Kyler gets very tanky. Boom, now he's gone. Now, I could try to dispel those, but they automatically come back every time he takes damage, so there's just not much point. You just gotta work through it. Using all the basics means that I've got all their specials ready going into the next battle, which will actually be the final battle in Galactic Warrior. This doesn't look like it should be too bad of a matchup. Daka has revives, so she's always the first target she got to get rid of. She's pretty tanky, so it might take a little bit to get through her. Now call Hera for the extra speed. You see he's already more than halfway to his next turn. I would do the Staggering Sweep, but she'll get a turn before I'm able to knock off the turn meter. I won't have anybody that goes before her, so probably better off just doing a basic. Now I'll do that flourish. The heals. Now, losing Hera is rough, but it's the very final battle, so I can continue on. She doesn't need to be alive, and I think I can still take them. Can always restart later if I need to. Hopefully we won't. Now let's get that the counter. Ooh, let's see. He's got healing immunity, so I probably want to get rid of that first. Give some more protection over there. Now I could have cleared his health over time up, but it's just not really worth it. Prefer to get that turn meter. So here, let's taunt there until we can get back around to Kanan. Now, why do I go Darth Sidious here? Very simply, he's got that health recovery immunity debuff that I don't want getting on my guys again, so try to kill him off next. Now, typically I'd call Hera, but she's not here. So let's do this. Let's call Zeb and try to stun. Perfect. I don't typically like spreading my attacks out, but again, I'm cheap. Let's restart one more time. Hopefully we can get through the rest of the video here. If I could get enough subscribers someday, then I'll buy the full version so it stops going away on us. Ooh. This is rough. The dodge is hurt. This is really rough. Ooh, another dodge. Man, Ray's hitting like a truck. So let's back out and start over. I jinxed myself by saying that shouldn't be too bad. So we'll have to change our priority here. After Daka goes, then maybe I'll go for Ray instead. See, there's the healing immunity. Official name there. The heal is really annoying. Get rid of her. Perfect. Alright, get rid of that foresight. I'll go after you, Ray. See if we can. Unfortunately, I couldn't get an attack in before she was able to go. I should have thought that through a little bit better. That's okay. Neither of them had debuffs to dispel, so it was Zeb by default. Boom, she's gone. Now, Sidious is probably the next best threat, but he's close to dying, so... Or she, excuse me. Phasma. Let's go on and try to finish her off. Alright, this is much better than last time. Now, I could have cleansed there, but we're down to 2 guys. I've got 4, so let's just finish them off. Extra offense over defense. Try to get the stun. Bam. Just going max offense. Don't need to save any specials. And there we go. Okay, we'll do a quick arena battle. Show you how they fare in arena. Hopefully I can find a good matchup here. If the game will load. Error with my connection. Let's see, that's a pain in the butt. Takes forever. That's a hyperspace pack. There's another hyperspace pack. There's another hyperspace pack, another. More hyperspace packs. Oh, it's too bad I didn't get to show a mirror match. That would not be a good one to show because they're way higher than mine. So I can show this one. I don't know how well it'll work out. They're hyperspace and I'm not. They've got Yoda. So this will be a tough match, but it may be good as a demonstration of what Phoenix can do. So obviously they've got tons of extra protection, and I don't have a whole lot of time to get through it. Yoda's the most dangerous character, so we want to get rid of him as quick as possible. Landing debuffs right now isn't really going to happen, so, well, I said that. I wasn't going to worry about it. I was just trying to do extra damage, but, you know, we'll take it. Ooh, this might be rough. Can't lose Ezra, but all the ability blocks hurts. So this is where the debuff can really help out. I do want to try to... it would be nice to save it for Old Ben. but I gotta get rid of those buffs on him, otherwise I'll be in a world of hurt. And that's where having the extra buff dispel can really help out. If I can get Yoda out of here, I think we'll be doing pretty well. Boom. Okay, I'm actually going to go for Snips next. She's got the Dispel on her basic. I would like to get rid of that so that my tanks can keep tanking. Hey, stagger. Perfect. Fortunately, I couldn't really take full advantage of it, but you always want to save old Ben for last so he doesn't give those buffs to the rest of the team. Now, could have used the Flourish, but she's got a permanent buff, so I wouldn't get the turn or the reduction on the cooldown, and I wouldn't get the bonus turn meter, and I wouldn't dispel the buff either, so why bother? Save it for later when it can actually be of some use. Like now. Typically I don't want to do that, but that's a bunch of buffs, so we'll dispel those. Remember, he also does take away turn meter. I gotta move me. It takes away 10% turn meter for each buff, so when you're fighting a Bastila lead, taking off all those buffs will really hurt their turn meter. Thankfully, they're not super high GP and well geared. They're also not the most optimal Jedi team, otherwise we'd really be struggling here. As it turns out, we're actually doing pretty well, pretty quickly. This is usually a very tough team to grind through. I usually save Mace for last because, sadly, he's just not very threatening. But I gotta save old Ben for last, so... At this point, I'm pretty much just going all offense, trying to take him out as quick as I can. Get that taunt off. Don't really need the taunt or anything on my own. Didn't really have a whole lot of need for extra protection. So, just offense. Offense is very helpful. Killing the opponent before they kill you, certainly the way to go. Oops, I shouldn't have used the flourish there. He had a buff. But sometimes I get a little click happy. Oh well. And victory. There we go. So there's your basic strategy guide for Phoenix while you're leveling up. Remember, this was not a level 85 Phoenix strategy guide. This is a as you level strategy guide. So hopefully that helped. Please check out some other videos. I do have some other stuff to help newer players. I've got some more stuff I'm working on. Hopefully I'll be able to get that done soon. Please also give me a like and subscribe. That'd really help out my channel. Help get the info to other players and help the community. And I hope you all have a blessed day. Thanks for watching.